So this part doesn't matter, which makes it quite similar to the other parts, but this is just the extra battle mode. They're all presented like this. They're all a surprise. We get to play as the bully.
Ooh.
We get to play
Brat
as
A
either
and
one
Brat
of
B.
the bullies. I'm trying
I
to
love
decide.
their teeth. I love how, like, one of them has a full mouth of teeth and the other has, like, almost none.
One of them got all of them. So, guess who we get to fight as Brat A? That's
nice.
Right. Let's beat the shit out of this little twerp.
I love how small he is. Oh my god. I love how he has the proportions of a man, but is just child-sized.
I thought he had the proportions of a gorilla.
No, Jonathon.
That's who I'm talking about.
No, the Brat kind of has the proportions. I don't know, their sizes do not mix in with their environment. Actually, what this looks like is Jonathon is just a normal, like, man, and we're some, like, giant and large child mutant thing. Like, look how big we are.
We were born on a nuclear waste dump that was just knocking about at this somehow.
We're an orc.
What I love as well about this fight is just how much better this character plays than young Jonathon. It's not even a challenge fight. Jonathon is just fucking wreck and deck the piece of shit.
Nice. Good.
That's the only fight
yeah.
I total S rank is beating the shit out of Jonathon.
Good.
So now we saw what an S rank is. So let's just go to the next fight. I think I don't know, why did I stick with Brat A? That's not right. Should have experimented, saw both Brats. But either way, next up, the slightly tougher sibling. Not as really a sibling, but hey, adoptive.
This is good. This is really good playing as some nobody shit punk beating up Dio, like the big villain from Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. Yeah. Like, just, you know, be in the middle of part 3's, like, climax where, like, you know, they're flying and shit and doing all that weird time stuff, and then, like, just cut back to this.
I like to believe this is canon but happened off screen, and in the future Dio just hunted down this guy's entire bloodline and just destroyed it.
That would be good.
We don't know much about Brat A, but... Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's something oddly cathartic about these two fights. Saying that, I'm starting to have a bit of trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, Dio can actually dodge.
Yeah, he's a tricky bugger. He's a sly one.
He's using that big brain intellectualism in the fight.
Remember when you see him early on, he's playing chess against a guy? That's what he's doing to me right now. This isn't a fight. This is a chess match.
If getting hit, don't.
It's all Dio needed to win. To destroy the Joestar bloodline. But yeah, I think in the alternate mode you play as Dio, and this is his story of how he convinced the two brats to be his friend and fuck over Jonathon a bunch. And that's as far as I can make sense of the alternate story mode.
Oh, so does it actually go into some behind-the-scenes stuff that you, like, don't see in the manga? Did they make stuff up?
I guess.
Interesting.
Spa. Now everyone's favourite character, time to play a Speedwagon. The man who has a metal hat.
Speedwagon is a very impressively useless character. Like, he only exists so someone can, like, talk about Jonathon and say how cool and good he was.
And it's a really skewed perspective as well, because it kind of just came from the fact that he refused to kill him or something.
Yeah.
I can't even remember the full context of the Ogre Street thing. It was just Jonathon showed a bit of mercy, and Speedwagon was impressed, but Jonathon was also surrounded by a gorillion men at that point. But I do like that we've managed to beat up Jonathon twice in this part.
Yeah,
it's a nice parallel.
I just want to say at the start of this fight, like, Jonathon slowly walking towards you is, like, genuinely menacing, but not in the right way.
It's threatening in a way that he's gonna walk up and ask, so do you want to come on an adventure? And either answer will lead to your death, most likely.
He walks up, Dad says it's my... He walks up to Dio in that exact animation. Dad says it's my turn to play Xbox.
If you haven't guessed already, Speedwagon controls like shit.
I love his animation, though. One hand on hat and just sort of slapping Jonathan with his offhand.
Really
yeah,
bad.
this looks awful.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the game. That could be just box art quote. This looks awful.
I love how bad the hat, like, toss is. Why is it behind him?
It's for those occasions in this game, the numerous occasions where you need to attack enemies in all directions. I joke, I guess that does kind of happen, but never when you're playing a Speedwagon.
They didn't know that when they designed the character's moveset.
True. They didn't really think about the matchup game, the meta of Phantom Blood.
This is such a weird fucking game.
It's an anomaly of it existing and being so faithful, but faithful to its own hindrance, really.
Yeah. Like, this really just exists as, like, an alternative like, say, you know, like, you want to read part 1, but, like, readings for nerds, and you need to, like, pretend to be a gamer. That's why this game exists.
That's the most tragic story of needing a use case I've ever heard, to be honest. I can't be seen reading. I have to be a gamer. Get me my PS2.
Just imagine... Okay, video game adaptations of movies have kind of gone out of vogue. They used to be, like, everywhere, and you don't see them as much now. Like, we need video game adaptations of books. Way more.
I just get Moby Dick on my X-Bone.
Great Gatsby, the Telltale game. That would actually... See, Telltale adapting books is interesting, because that means there has to be choice.
From the Total War studio, War and Peace.
For a long time, I thought the title of War and Peace was like a character's name, War and Peace.
Oh god, yeah, I remember talking about that. It's so silly.
I just thought
that actually sounds like a character from Ace Attorney now that you said it like that. The General War and Peace.
That's good. That's really good.
Oh, I'm nicking that. It's just... I'm nicking that for a fucking RPG character.
You're nicking that for when you just write your own Ace Attorney game.
Ace Attorney fanfiction. I see. You went for game. I went honest. I went for fanfiction.
Is Ace Attorney fanfiction a thing?
Probably. Let me look up. Let me go to fanfiction.net while nothing is happening, which is basically this whole part. I'm actually not going to go right for that. I'm going to go...
Police Zombie!
Yeah.
Police Zombie kind of looks like one of the pirates from... the space pirates from Star Wars.
Oh, I'm disappointed. So I decided to go on one. I went to the crossover fanfiction segment, but there is no crossover with Jojo.
That's a good run cycle. You need to pioneer it.
There is, however, one crossover with Guitar Hero.
That sounds interesting, but at the same time, probably not very interesting.
There are 10 crossovers with Sonic the Hedgehog, however.
Oh, yeah, well, you know, like, I think that's, like, the minimum number of crossovers with Sonic the Hedgehog any franchise can have. How many crossovers are there between JoJo and Sonic?
Oh, I'll look at that in a second, but I just want to read the crossover, some of the crossover names here. Turnabout Hedgehog.
Ooh, that's good.
Phoenix Wright, Speed Attorney. Pointing out contradictions at the speed of sound.
I like Turnabout Hedgehog the best, because that's
there was 3 that had that title I want to add.
Ooh.
There were 3. Some people had made it as a subtitle. Someone else made it as a semicolon title. It was... Apparently, that was all anyone could think of was Turnabout Hedgehog. I would have gone with Turnabout Chaos, frankly, but... Alright, let's go back into the... What were you asking me to... Jojo.
Jojo and Sonic. Like, all the Sonic characters have stands.
I can't find any. Annoyingly.
What? Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
We need to write one. And, like, because you have stand names easy peasy, because the characters all have, like, themes to choose from.
Maybe if I go into a different category.
It doesn't
no
matter.
Sonic.
Actually,
wow.
Wow. It doesn't matter,
Yeah.
actually, isn't a bad stand name.
I thought you were just saying it doesn't matter. I thought you were just giving up any last remaining interest in the game. A CAD, exactly what Jonathon is.
Exactly. Endless Possibilities is also a
Wang
good stand name.
I'm really sad. I'm really sad to say this on commentary and just throw it out there, but I think we've had this discussion before.
Have we?
Yeah. Just the most sad discussion there has ever been.
Theme of E102 Gamma doesn't make for the best stand name for E102 Gamma.
I mean, I think I settled that I would go with Eggman. Just the Sonic Adventure 2 one that is just EGGMAN.
Yeah, no, because that's how they would have to say it, though.
Yeah. I like this treacherous fight. I like the canonicity of this battle.
Yeah. I like Dio's fucking, like, pink circle laser point, whatever the fuck that was.
I like how much easier it is to defeat Dio as fucking Wang-chan.
He has that
doesn't-
reach.
I like how I can't tell if the sound is out of sync or not, or if the game is just that bad.
Sab. Sab.
Ah, finally. Jack
I
the Ripper.
forgot Jack the Ripper looked like that. I forgot how he was Jack the Ripped.
Let's see what he's got going for him. We move from murdering prostitutes to Dio. And Wang Chan has rejoined forces. Why does Jack the Ripper also have poison? I guess, fuck it. Why not?
Maybe that was the secret. Maybe that's why they never caught him the poison.
I like his run cycle is so lumbering. Oh,
He really
you've been
gets
learning
his
from
shoulders
Jonathon,
into
I
it.
see.
I love just swinging his sword, like, above Lang
Yeah, I
Chen.
was just saying, I feel like that's where Jonathon learned that move. But Jonathon had to make a whole thing out of it. A big song and dance, whereas Jack the Ripper, he's casual, he's a professional.
I don't think Jack the Ripper had a sword. Like, just...
Maybe he's actually... I was going somewhere with that joke, but I realized it was way too stupid, so I'm not gonna finish it.
I don't know. I think stupid is what this game deserves.
Well, I was gonna say, maybe we're all really small and that is just a knife, but it doesn't make any sense.
No, it's. I mean, when we were those, like, children, we were really big, so, you know, it balances out.
Oh, true. This is boring. We've already played as Zappelli once.
Did we?
Yeah. It was one or two fights, and
Ooh, I just remembered that bit where he made Jonathon hold a
There's two
glass of
fights.
wine while fighting.
Yeah. And then in game, they didn't actually represent the wine. It was just in the corner a bit. You know, I'm just gonna
Wang
say...
Chan is really popular in these alternate fight modes.
Yeah, it's strange, right? They just didn't get enough coverage in the main game. The designers were just big Wang Chan heads.
I like how his clothes make his body look like a fucking upside down triangle. Oh, maybe this is what I was thinking of with the clawed enemies. Maybe I was just thinking of Wang Chan.
Maybe. I mean, there's nothing more to say. It's just, I'm just thinking about this extra mode doesn't really justify the game very much.
No. I love charging up your move by slowly walking away, then you finally get to 3, turn around. Like, you're really luring them into the trap.
It makes this game feel really tactical.
Like, I think the best part of it is that Zappelli doesn't really run, he just sort of, like, power walks.
Well, he's more confident.
That would be a Jonathon move, just power walking everywhere.
He would also have to justify it. I'm a little teapot. I like the little teapot stance he did.
See, Jotaro would never be caught power walking. He can only slowly do his, like, cool guy walk, or, like, just outright run.
I'm actually really surprised. I've just realized it, and I'm willing to go over in this commentary to say this, and this will be the note I end on. I'm really surprised that Jotaro never figured out that he could maybe just use Star Platinum to just carry him everywhere, but only by the underside of the feet, so he just hovers everywhere like a statue. Like he's got little wheels on the bottom of him.
You're so right.
That would be the most... Because Jotaro's goal in life... Yeah, this is just going to be a black screen at this point, yeah. I don't care. Jotaro's goal in life is to be as stony and unmoving as possible, so the fact that he never did that feels weird to me. Yeah,
you know, like, Jotaro wanted to, like, be as cool and stoic as possible at all times. Joseph and his son just, you know, want to have a good time, want to get some money, want to, you know, like...
Live life, have fun.
Yeah. And Jonathon just wants to be, like, the biggest fucking nonce of all time, and has really succeeded.
He's the biggest move that he ever made. The most Jotaro thing he ever did was stopping his own heart. So, yeah. That was Phantom Blood.
This was a really bad game.
Yeah, no, it's impressive, right? I don't think I could show you anything worse.
Yeah, I really don't. I don't think... Is this the worst game on Comcoms? You would know. You've done, like, all the really bad games on here.
I mean, I would argue that this was at least more entertaining than Beyond Two Souls. And it had a better story. I understood more of it. That's not true. I understood more of Beyond Two Souls. I just wish I didn't. Maybe, yeah. No, it's maybe not the worst game, but it's the worst in the most ways. It's other games are really bad, but they're really bad, but they go in one direction with it. Whereas this game is it's amazing just how much tech it has in how terrible it is. It's coming up with it's constantly refreshing new ways to be really shit.
Here's a question that, you know, probably should have asked while, like, it was still going, but I think it's a worthy question for this game and a decent one to end on. Do you think this game would have more or less value if, like, say you're Japanese, like, you speak Japanese and all that, and you haven't read or watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? You're experiencing this game fresh, you know, without having watched or read. You don't already know the plot of part one. You're not already invested.
I would say even then this is not actually a substitute. I say as someone who hasn't read the manga, even if I was Japanese, could speak the Japanese language, could fucking understand this game, I would still think this is worse than actually just reading the manga, because the gameplay is so awful that it's just a stopgap to actually progressing the story.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, obviously it's the worst way you could experience it.
And the art is worse in the manga panel sections.
But I mean more like just for this game. Would this game be better or worse if this was you were actually experiencing the story for the first time versus like seeing this as an adaptation of the story, or like playing the fights?
I mean, I think it would get the story across well. I think weren't there some elements that were missing from this? I mean, granted, we've seen the anime, which also dropped elements.
This had stuff that the anime didn't.
True. I don't know. I still think I would argue that even then, as a first-time viewing, I think this would be... It would explain things. I think you'd be able to follow it.
See, I think this would be a worse experience if, like...
Oh yeah, I still think
you
this
were
would be
playing...
worse
If this was your introduction to JoJo versus just playing this as, like, an adaptation of something you already know, I think this would be, like, a worse game to play. Like, just, this is effectively an original story. I think this would be, like, a much worse experience.
Yeah, now...
Judging by those standards, I feel like this is probably the worst game on Comcoms.
I guess I got to ask you a question, though, because I watched part 1 through of you, and I guess we really should wrap this up at some point. But
Probably.
How was going through part 1 for the second time, even if it was in a totally different format?
I feel like just... It was sort of nice, because, you know... I couldn't understand what was going on, so I could just sort of mentally read all of Jonathon lines as blah blah blah, I'm a dumbass, blah blah blah, you know. And I got to see all these fights, like, depicted with zero respect, and just Jonathon getting slapped around like a big balloon man, and that was entertaining and gratifying, I think.
It's actually amusing now I think about it, because this would have been a worse playthrough had I been much better at the game and thus was able to somehow no damage it. I'd also be a worse human being if I could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's for the best.
It's for the best. And also we got to end beating up Jonathon a few times, so yeah, I'm happy.